The Hawthorn estate loomed over Willow Creek, a spectre of grey stone and rotting wood. Its windows were dark eyes, watching, judging. Locals whispered of cold spots and ghostly apparitions. Children dared not approach. It was a place of secrets, of sorrow. The house had stood empty for decades. Its once grand facade now crumbled. Vines choked the porch railings. The iron gates hung open as if inviting the brave or the foolish. No one dared to enter, not anymore. The Hawthorn estate held on to its mysteries and its ghosts. The stories began generations ago, whispers of a family torn apart by greed and betrayal, of a young woman, Eleanor Hawthorn, who vanished without a trace. Some said she still walked the halls, her mournful cries echoing in the dead of night. Emily, a young writer seeking inspiration, heard the stories. She was drawn to the macabre, the unexplained. The Hawthorn estate, with its tragic history and haunted reputation, called to her. It whispered promises of a story waiting to be told. Emily was not afraid, not in the way others were. She saw the sadness in the house's decay, the weight of its past. She felt a connection to the unknown, a need to understand the secrets hidden within its walls.
One cool autumn afternoon, I decided to face my fears, or perhaps embrace them.
She stood before the imposing gates. The wind howled through the trees like a mournful cry. It seemed to beckon her forward. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. The air within the estate was cold, still. Dust motes danced in the faint rays of sunlight that pierced the grimy windows. The scent of decay hung heavy, a constant reminder of the passage of time and the things that lingered long after death. Emily wandered through the darkened halls. Her footsteps echoed on the wooden floors. Each room was a portrait of neglect, furniture draped in white sheets like ghosts themselves, cobwebs clinging to every surface. She felt a presence following her, watching her.
In the parlour I found a grand piano, its ivory keys yellowed with age. I gently pressed a key.
The sound was discordant, jarring, as if the house itself cried out in pain. She quickly withdrew her hand. It was a sound that should not be disturbed. As dusk fell, the house seemed to come alive. Shadows stretched and twisted. The temperature dropped. Emily felt a chill run down her spine. She was not alone. She could sense it now. A presence, cold and mournful, surrounded her. Suddenly she saw her. A young woman in a white gown. Her face was pale, her eyes filled with a deep sadness. She glided through the shadows, her feet making no sound. This was Eleanor Hawthorn, the ghost of the estate.
Betrayal, a family's greed, and a love that had been cruelly denied.
Eleanor's voice was a whisper, a sigh on the wind. She spoke of betrayal, of a family's greed, and a love that had been cruelly denied. Emily listened intently. She felt a surge of sympathy for the young woman, a desire to help her find peace. Eleanor's story unfolded like chapters in a forgotten book. She had loved a young man, but their families were rivals. They forbade the relationship. Blinded by their own ambitions, they sought to control Eleanor's destiny. They wanted her to marry a wealthy suitor to secure their own fortunes.
I refused. I would not be a pawn in their game. I vowed to be with my love, no matter the cost.
But her defiance came at a terrible price. Her family, enraged by her disobedience, had her silenced forever.
I listened to Eleanor's whispers. My heart ached for the young woman. I reached out, my fingers brushing against Eleanor's cold, ethereal hand. A jolt of energy pulsed between us. A connection formed. I knew I had to help Eleanor. I had to bring her story to light.
Eleanor's spirit was tethered to the house, unable to find peace until her story was told. The truth, she whispered, lay hidden within the estate, locked away in a secret journal. A journal that held the key to her freedom.
Guided by Eleanor's spectral presence, I searched tirelessly. I explored every nook and cranny of the house, every dusty room, every forgotten attic. I felt a growing sense of urgency. I had to find the journal. It was Eleanor's only hope.
The house seemed to guide her, leading her through the darkness. Doors creaked open, revealing hidden passages. Floorboards groaned beneath her feet as if pointing the way. The Hawthorn estate was ready to relinquish its secrets. It was time for the truth to be revealed. Finally, in a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards of the old library, Emily discovered the journal. It was bound in leather, its pages brittle with age. As she opened it, the scent of lavender and old paper filled the air. The scent of a life cut short.
Eleanor's elegant script filled the pages, each word a testament to her spirit, her love, her defiance. She wrote of her family's cruelty, their betrayal. She documented their schemes, their lies. The journal was proof of their treachery.
Emily read the journal, her heart pounding. It was a tale of love, betrayal, and ultimately murder. Eleanor's own family had orchestrated her demise, making it appear as an accident. They had silenced her to protect their own reputations and their fortunes. Armed with the journal, Emily contacted the authorities. She presented them with the evidence. The journal, with its detailed accounts, could not be ignored. The truth buried for so long was finally brought to light. The authorities launched an investigation. The descendants of Eleanor's family, now wealthy and influential, denied everything. But the journal's words were irrefutable. The evidence was overwhelming. Justice, though long delayed, would be served.
News of the investigation spread through Willow Creek like wildfire. The town, once dismissive of Eleanor's story, now buzzed with the revelation. Whispers turned to outrage. The Hawthorn name, once synonymous with wealth and prestige, was now tarnished by scandal. They could no longer hide from the sins of their past.
It's about time the truth came out. Eleanor deserves justice, even after all these years.
The Hawthorn estate, once a symbol of power, now stood as a testament to the consequences of greed and betrayal. Eleanor's spirit could finally rest, her story no longer shrouded in darkness.